everyone, it's Sharana from Para Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing Zoeys Extraordinary Playlist Season 1, Episode 12, the season finale, Zoeys Extraordinary Dad. You guys, this episode was so good, so emotional. It was literally, I cried for like an hour and a half after the episode ended, because this really hit close to home for me, like in so many ways. And I'll get into that a little bit later, but I really, really enjoyed the season finale of season 1. So we see at the beginning of the episode that Zoe, played by Jane Levy, she's singing again, which we haven't seen Jane Levy sing since Zoeys Extraordinary Glitch. So every time she's getting ready and she looks into like a mirror or she can see her reflection, she's singing a song called Bad Moon Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival. And it's really kind of like, is giving her like a bad omen that something bad is going to happen. And so she tries to go talk to Mo about this. And Mo was like, maybe it's something else. And she's like, Mo, he was like, what was the song? And then Zoe was like, oh, it's Bad Moon Rising. He was like, nah, it's something bad. Like, I'm sorry, I was going to try to lie to you, but nah, that's going to be something bad. And so the first thing she thinks to is to call her mom. She actually goes to her dad's house to check on him, and it seems that he's actually in really good spirits. They have a nice little conversation, and he like hits a little thing saying I love you, and her mom is like, he's having a really great day, like everything is going good. So she's like, woo, like it's not him. Then I thought the mama's hair was gonna get chopped off or something in the garbage disposal, but that was Zoe tripping and had me tripping. So Zoe's just like, okay, well maybe everything's good with my family, like we have to figure out something at work once we get there. And so we see that Leaf is back on the 4th floor, and he asks Zoe how Max is doing, and then that's essentially how she finds out that Max was fired at the end of last week's episode. And so she goes to talk to Joan about what happened, but Joan is scary because Danny, the CEO of the company, called and said, hey, like, I need to talk to you, you need to call me back. And so Zoe's like, well, just don't call him back, like, he'll forget. He won't remember for like another 6 months. And then we see that Danny actually does end up showing up. But it is not bad news. Well, it's bad news for Danny because he said he got the feds, he got CIA, FBI, everybody looking for Danny. I don't know what you did, honey, but it was something bad because he thinks that he's going to go away to jail for a minute. There's going to be bad press, but he wants Joan to be the one to run Spark Point while he is gone. So he needs her to fly out to go meet with the investors to make sure that she can get approved to run the company. So we were like, okay, that's fine. Like, he's okay. She's okay. Well, Danny's really not okay, but he's okay for him. But when he told them, like, can you go make me an omelet minus the eggs? I said, sir, how you just want like some sauteed vegetables and meat? Like, somebody help me understand what he meant right there. But so all of that is fine. So when Zoe finds out what is happening with Max, so she thinks that Max is like, that is the issue that she needs to fix. But also too, in the meantime, let me talk about Mo real quick, because Mo went and got that old thing back real quick. So we see that Mo ends up popping up at Zoe's place, Zoe's work, mad. She's scared. I mean, he scared me. I was like, oh my God, Mo, like what? Where did you come from? Mo was not having it, okay, honey? He was like, why did you send a fake Gucci 80% off sale to my email inbox? And then all of a sudden I see Eddie is up there as well. So you basically tried to set both of us up. I didn't appreciate it because I don't want to be with him. And then he goes into singing, I love him, I love him, I love him. I was like, I don't think you really don't want to be with him. I think you actually love him and you care about him and you want to be with him. So he started singing I Love Him by Peggy March, and then he finally ends up going to see Eddie, apologizing, talking about how he's very guarded and he wanted to push him away before he could push him away. So he ends up apologizing. They get back together. They kiss and stuff. I was like, you better go get your old thing back. I see you guys. I was really happy for Mo and Eddie. But the bulk of this story really has to do with Zoe. So there is a lot going on in this episode. So we kind of get a more insight into this love triangle. So we see that she goes to try to cheer Max up. She takes it to this place. Obviously that Simon took her, because while they're in line, we see that Simon pops up out of nowhere like, hey, I got the little thing that we both like. And I was like, wow, so you just gonna take Max to your place that was with him? Ooh, you messy. Even Max was looking at him like, oh, so this is y'all place. I mean, he didn't say that, but we know he was thinking it. So in the midst of all of this, we see that we see that they're sitting and talking, and Max is basically telling her what happens. And then Simon ends up starts singing Jealous by Nick Jonas. I still get jealous. That sounded, it was a very catchy song. So she's trying to listen to Max while he's singing to her. And I think they do such a fantastic job in these episodes of having these musical numbers where the other person really has to keep doing exactly what they were doing before it started without break. I know they have to break in between takes because there's no way that I can keep a straight face through this the entire time. So he's singing Jealous, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, so you jealous. And even Zoe's kind of look like, oh, you jealous, huh? So in the midst of all of this, after the song is over, we see that it's chandelier fall, and it scared the heck out of me because I wasn't expecting that to happen. So maybe she was like, okay, there's still some type of bad omen. I don't know what it is, but she is bound to find out. But then she gets a text message from her brother that Emily is in labor, so she gets scared. And then we see they go to the hospital. By the time she gets there, it was a false alarm. But I find it funny that she's staring at the MRI machine that she was in when she kind of got these powers. And then the doctor comes and starts talking to her. And then when he starts singing, like, I got the music in me, like, was one of the songs that she was singing, and I think it was in Zoe's Extraordinary Glitch. I just thought that was really funny. But she ends up asking Danny, can she give Max his job back? And so he says yes. So she goes to tell Max, and then he's basically like, no, I don't think I want to do that. I really just want to figure out what I want to do. I really enjoy being a manager, so I want to, like, embark on this new journey and really just try to figure out, like, what life has in store for me. She was like, I like this, Max. And I was like, oh, you do like this, Max. And then she ended up kissing him. I said, what? So she finally kisses him, and then he, like, comes and kisses her back. And I was like, finally, because y'all know I'm Team Max. I just really don't care for Simon, even though they trying to have that conversation like, you know, I was jealous and stuff like this, but I just want to be honest with you. I don't want to have the same type of relationship I had with old girl. I was like, boy, bye, whatever. Because I still couldn't be with somebody who we got together because you was cheating on her with me. Like, it just don't work that way. I just didn't feel that that was okay. But back to her and Max getting it on. So they getting it on, and then he starts singing, cause all of me loves I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop doing that. So then she was like, bruh, can you stop singing? Can you think of something else? Because I can hear you singing another love song, and it's really throwing me off because I'm really trying to keep kissing you. And I thought it was really funny how they did that scene because she's trying to kiss him, but he keeps singing, and she's just like, what are we doing? So she tells him, like, I can hear you. So then she's like, think something else. Think something sexy. So then all of a sudden he goes into, I know you want me. I know I won't. I was just like, sir, I mean, yeah, she said go in the opposite direction, but like, just focus on kissing her. I don't know why we're still singing songs right now. So she ends up saying like, hey, let's just table this, okay? But she ends up getting a phone call, and it's Howie basically wanted to talk to them. And so they tell him that her father can't eat or swallow anymore, and this is basically like the last couple of hours before he passes away. And so Max takes her up there and, you know, is trying to help her with everything. And I thought it was a really nice moment between Max and her mom, where he hugs her and says, like, you know, I got to talk to him, and I told him like how I felt about his daughter. And then she was like, I think he already knew. And I thought that was so cute. I was just like, this is why I am Team Max right now. But the biggest thing that he did was actually call Simon to let him know what is going on, because he knew that Zoe would want to hear from him. And I just thought like, oh, he is such a good dude. I don't understand why you don't want to be with this man. And so he calls Simon, and we see that he ends up leaving. And as he leaves, then Simon pulls up, gives her some lasagna. And I was just like, okay, well, he brought food. I forgot he can cook. So I was just like, I don't know who you're going to choose. I'm still going to say choose Team Max. But basically both of them like, hey, let's worry about all the stuff with us later. You take the time that you need to really like be with your family and just know that we're here for you. And so I thought that was like really super cool. And then this is when I like literally lost it, okay? So her brother goes to talk to him. He starts singing this song called Lullaby by Billy Joel, and I literally lost it because his son is really trying to reconcile with the fact that his dad isn't going to be able to meet his child. And I thought it was super cute when his wife was like, you want me to stay here? And he was like, you're my wife, like he will want you here too. I was just like, oh, my heart can't take it. The tears already was falling. But when he started singing Lullaby, I lost it, literally just lost it. And then we see that her mom starts singing Dream a Little Dream of Me by Doris Day. I just really feel for her. Like, she was really going through it in the last week's episode, and just all of this, I didn't know it was coming this soon. I guess I should have known it was coming, but it was just really hard. And The part that really made me lose it, anyone that knows me knows that I love Trolls, and one of my favorite songs from Trolls is True Colors, which Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick sang in the movie. And we see that her dad calls her over, and he's dressed up, and then they end up dancing. There's no music, and then they start with the violin. They start playing True Colors. This is when I was boo-hooing, snot coming out of my nose. I was just like, I can't do this. And for those of you guys who don't know, I lost my father when I was young, and so to watch this and know what it feels like to have to grow up without having your father in your life, and you think about getting married, you think about having kids, you think about all these moments that your father is going to miss. That is why like this episode just spoke so much to me, and I thought it was so beautifully like handled with Peter Gallagher, who plays her father, and Jane Levy, like that whole dance between them and how he's telling her like you have to make your own music. So he passes away, and then we see the family. Obviously this is after the funeral. They're going back to the house for the repast, and they start singing American Pie Part 1 by Don McLean, and we see that really the whole cast kind of joins in some way, shape, or form. And this is like, I was already done at this point, so I was just crying the entire time. But I thought it was a beautiful way to end the episode. We see that Zoe ends up being the last one to actually sing at the end of the episode, and I was just like, wow, this was so well done. I absolutely love Zoeys Extraordinary Playlist. I think the way that they use music, and they have this drama that's happening. We had all this this little love triangle threesome thing happening in the beginning of the episode, but then as we transition to what happens with her father, it was so well done. It didn't feel like there was this huge tonal shift. I was literally just going through the emotions with Jane's character Zoe, and I love how they incorporate the music to really show the emotion of the situations that these characters are going through, and how they handle the dad's passing. Like, I was preparing myself for it, but it still broke me up. Like, it's only been 12 episodes, and I was still very attached with the relationship that Zoe has with her father. But more importantly, you know, for the one of the creators of the shows, you know, his father really suffered from this illness and passed away. And so I thought it was a beautiful tribute that he had for his father. And it was just a really great episode. I think this was a really great way to end the season. I want them to go ahead and renew it for season 2. If you don't renew it for season 2, we're going to have some problems. But this was such a fantastic episode. Literally had me in my feelings for like a whole hour and a half afterwards. So I just want to say kudos to the entire cast. You guys are just extraordinary. Everything you do, the writers, the choreographers, the producers, everyone does such a fantastic job on this show. I really hope that everyone gets renewed for season 2. But those are my thoughts on Zoeys Extraordinary Playlist, season 1, episode 12, Zoeys Extraordinary Dad. As always, my name is Sharana from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.